Mondays smelled different at Whispering Pines. Not like hope or fresh starts, more like burnt coffee, carpet cleaner, and the humming anxiety that lives in the vents. I'm Max Orin, handsome and deeply invested in naps, the unofficial historian of this condo complex north of Seattle where every door hides a sitcom, and every window forgets to breathe. From my lobby window ledge, I keep a dignified watch. Joggers pretending the drizzle is charming, delivery trucks dropping boxers with cheerful smiles printed on private disappointments, and the HOA newsletter that says nothing while threatening everything. Still, the best show in town is apartment 402. Sarah and her cat, Winston. Winston is a Persian with a face that says, "I was born tired." He looks like a fog bank learned sarcasm. He hates vacuum cleaners, laser pointers, and above all, Mondays. If you asked him why, he'd flick an ear and say, "Because it's the day when humans try to domesticate time." Sarah worked for a tech startup with a name that sounds like a glitch. She had the remote work uniform. Soft hoodie, hard stare, the blue light from her laptop turned her into a porcelain version of herself. She said things like synergy and touch base and circling back as if these phrases could hold a life together. Winston called the laptop the glowing rectangle. It stole my lap. He complained to me through the window, and then it stole her. Our building runs on rumor, the way other places run on electricity. Luna from 405 narrates everything like a true crime podcast. Simba from the lobby bench collects secrets like dryer lint. Oliver in 401 delivers one-liners so heavy they require a seatbelt. Burnout, he told us, watching the rain, is when a person mistakes a fire alarm for applause. The day it began to end, the weather was the color of forgetting. Sarah sat in front of the screen, while tiny squares of her coworkers floated like ghosts in a digital seance. "Can everyone hear me?" she asked. The modern prayer, a voice we didn't like, answered her boss, crisp and caffeinated. Words like commitment and visibility drifted through the wall. Winston climbed onto the keyboard and lay down full length, the exact shape of a boundary. The laptop fan shrieked like a kettle left too long. "Winston, please," she whispered, sliding him off with a gentle guilt reserved for the only creature who still loved her without a deliverable. He moved to the router and tapped it off with a single, elegant paw. The meeting froze into a mosaic of surprised expressions. The apartment went quiet. A kind of quiet people forget exists. Sarah breathed. Then she apologized to the air and turned it all back on. That night, a message chimed at 2:07 a.m. "I know the exact time. Insomnia has a smell." Winston put his paw on her chest and stared until she looked back at herself inside his eyes. She answered anyway. Humans have a talent for breaking their own hearts politely. By Wednesday, the UBS guy and the rain were on a first-name basis. Sarah's trash can glittered with energy drink cans. Her gaze had that faraway freeway look. Winston escalated. He knocked the third coffee into the trackpad. The hiss it made was almost holy. Sarah froze, then laughed. The small kind of laugh people make when the fall finally lets go of them. She cleaned, apologized, ordered a new keyboard. "You can't buy air," Oliver said, not unkindly, from his window. On Friday, a tidy email arrived like a folded flag. Restructuring. The kind that forgets the structure was a person. She read it, and the light went out of her screen. And the light stayed in the room. She closed the laptop the way you close a door you moved into too fast. The silence afterward wasn't empty. It was space. The next 48 hours were a slow mercy. She slept like rain sleeps when it's run out of sky. Winston stayed pressed close, paw on her wrist, anchoring the tides. The condo exhaled. Even the refrigerator hummed at a lower pitch. On the third morning, sun dared the blinds. She didn't reach for the rectangle. She reached into a drawer and pulled out colored pencils and a spiral sketchbook with a bent corner. Dust rose, then settled like blessing. She sat by the window, the real one, and drew. Not screens, not charts, not boxers with faces. She drew leaves and stems and petals, The way light tries to live inside green. Winston sprawled across her lap, vibrating with the low thunder of purring. I watched from the lobby ledge, surprised at how contagiously warm the moment felt from across a courtyard. She smiled without witnesses. Even I looked away. Some things you don't narrate. You guard. By Monday, yes, it still arrived, punctual as guilt. Our building adjusted to a different music. The itch of slack pings no longer crawled through the drywall. In their place, scissors snipping twine, the whisper of tissue paper, the laughter of someone who started existing again. Luna claimed she could smell hope in the hallway. It's eucalyptus. Simba, checking the label on a box outside 402. Oliver sat on his windowsill and pronounced, "The opposite of hustle is not laziness, it's attention." Sarah launched something small that felt large, an online flower shop called Bloom and Pause. A name that sounded like it could forgive you. She posted photos shot in the kindest light afternoon offers for people who tried too hard for too long. Winston cameoed in most of them accidentally on purpose. Orders trickled in like first rain after a mean summer. This work was different. It had edges you could hold and colors you could pronounce without a meeting. When her first big order came, she turned on music. The room smelled like oranges and wet earth. Her handwriting had the wobble of someone relearning their hands. The rumor mill in our building turned softer. Sarah started walking outside in real daylight. She waved at people she'd lived beside for 2 years and never met. Our lobby suddenly felt like a place instead of a passage. If you're still here, maybe that's enough for tonight. The story doesn't end when it quiets down. It begins there. So, pause. Let the world come to you. Your cat already has.